Did you know that this exists? A woman charges millennials $480 an hour for them to overcome this phobia. All right, think about this for a second.
Okay.
There's a woman who's somewhat of a therapist.
Mm-hmm. Somewhat of a therapist, not an actual therapist, though.
Well, her name is Mary Jane Copps, and she charges $480 an hour. Mostly, I guess it's millennials to help them overcome this phobia. What kind of phobia might millennials have?
And Gen Zs don't have this? This is specific to millennials.
It's mostly millennials.
What?
Not having a phone?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on a minute. Hey, you're barking up the right tree.
I was thinking along those lines, something electronic.
Losing Wi-Fi.
What?
Losing internet.
These are all pretty good guesses, actually. But Froggy said phone, but you're not quite zeroed in on it. Come on, sight that scope in. Let's go. Come on.
Social media? Not being able to access, to being addicted to.
Yeah.
I got it.
Are we just going to over each other?
Yeah.
Okay, Rox, go.
Yes.
Sure.
Yes. Sorry.
What? Speak. What?
They don't want to have conversations with people. They just want to text message them.
Survey says yes.
Fester, she stole your guess.
No, I was guessing social media. She just didn't let me get the whole sentence out.
No,
Okay.
Here's the deal. Millennials, I guess, are the age demographic that are most affected by this. Millennials that are afraid to speak on the phone, to have actual phone conversations, and all they want to do is text. So Mary Jane Copps deals with, I guess, millennials mostly, but someone brought up Gen Z. Gen Z is also in the equation. It's both millennials and Gen Z, but apparently more millennials. And some of them have a fear of talking, actually having a verbal conversation. And this woman is known as the phone lady, Mary Jane Copps. And for $480 an hour, she'll help you overcome your phobia of speaking on the phone. So as part of her program, $480 an hour for one-on-one coaching, $365 for 30-minute webinars. She also trains staff for various corporations starting at $3,500 a day. This woman, the phone lady, Mary Jane Copps, told Business Insider, Gen Z have never had the skills given to them. In my generation, the phone was on the wall in everyone's house, and we were taught to answer it and make calls at a young age. Gen Z and millennials do not have this type of inherent training. Now we have several generations that were never taught anything about talking on the phone, and people have removed phones from their homes. Now, of course, we all have cell phones, but the cell phone permits you to communicate via text or email. She says the first step in her program is to understand why her client develops anxiety around phone calls. Would it be odd if I asked people that are listening right now that have anxiety about phone calls to call us?
Overcome your anxiety and broadcast it.
I'm actually thinking of a career change right now. I mean, how much money is she making to do this?
$480 an hour.
Okay.
Is that kind of an obscure number? I mean, it's a high number, I feel, but
Why not go to 5?
Oh, well, $450. Cut him a deal.
$427.50.
Whoa, yeah.
All right, let's go to phones on this. 800-990-1047. Are you afraid of the phone? Phone us up. Are you afraid to talk on the phone? Hey, call us up and talk. Or listen, if you have any observations on this, hey, maybe you've got kids. Maybe you know people that just are afraid to talk on the phone. They don't want to have verbal conversations.
Part of life, you got to cold call. You got to call people and
But
work in
not everybody has
jobs.
to cold call.
But
Yeah, well, I know.
Hold on.
You got to talk to people all the time.
Well, what about like just having face-to-face conversations? If someone's afraid of a phone conversation or they feel uncomfortable verbalizing on a phone, how does that translate to like face-to-face personal communication, like just talking to somebody in person? All right, let me give out the phone number, 800-990-1047. All right, fire up the phones if you have any element here, if you have any aspect of this that you want to comment on, or if you're in this category of you don't want to talk on the phone. But I've recognized this. I've mentioned this. We've talked about this, how everyone wants to text message these days. And I have said clearly on this program, I've said this for years, even before the return of the MJ Morning Show. I've talked about this on my other radio shows, that people are losing interpersonal communication and contact and just the human art of conversation. And when you text somebody, you don't always get the right context and the emotion over than if it were a verbal conversation on the phone. All right, look at the phones are ringing here. Andrew's screening calls. We'll go to calls here in a second.
You know why I like the phone sometimes?
Why?
Because sometimes I don't want someone to have a record of what I just said. That's nice, too.
What the hell are you doing in your life?
You are really worried.
What is going on, man? What are you
paranoid?
What are you hiding?
Do you know why I like the Telegraph? Because you burned those pieces of paper up.
Roxanne, what are you
Smoke
hiding?
signals dissipate.
Ladies and gentlemen, Roxanne Wilder leads a double life.
You know, those Native Americans had it right with the smoke signals.
Roxanne Wilder secretly does not want to leave a paper trail.
I remember the Cherokees were talking crap about the Apaches, but by the time the Apaches found out, the wind blew the smoke away.
It was just looked like a cloud.
What is Roxanne doing on a daily basis where she doesn't want to leave any evidence behind?
Because how many people do you know that will just screenshot another conversation? I always think this. If someone sends me a screenshot of a conversation with another person, hey, look, so-and-so said this, and sends it to me, I'm like, how many screenshots have you taken of my conversation with you? It's supposed to be an A and B conversation.
All right, 800-990-1047. Let's go to phones. Tim is in Ruskin. Hey, Tim, MJ Morning Show, you're on. Oh, is it Tina? Oh, I'm sorry. It's Tina, not Tim.
Tina,
yeah.
No. All right.
Let's see how that sounds.
Fester, can you make the font a little bigger on the phone screener?
I don't know.
All right. Hey, Tina, I'm sorry. You're on. Go ahead.
Yes, I actually have 6 children, but 4 of them are millennials and 2 is Gen X. None of them can talk on the phone.
Gen X or Gen Z?
Z, I'm sorry.
Yeah. How old are the younger ones?
I have a 12-year-old, but he don't do anything. But my 18-year-old,
Yeah. So that's Gen Z. Yep.
20 and 21. But then I have 2 older ones who are 23 and 28. And my partner is 33, still millennium. None of them will talk on the phone. They will call me. I'm talking, they're out of the house. They have children. I got to call, make doctor's appointments. Whatever they cannot do online, I do for them.
So they will not talk on the phone. They only want to do things online, or they want to text.
Exactly. They can be texting me, and I'll call them in the middle of it, and they'll text me back. What do you need?
So they won't even pick up the phone if you try to call them? Hello?
I don't think she's talking on the phone anymore.
So hang on. They won't pick up the phone if you try to call them?
No.
That is unbelievable. Tina, thanks for the call. Fester made the font ridiculously. It won't even fit in the box now. I don't need to.
Line 4 is. I'm working on it. Line 4 is James.
All right, James is in Lakeland. James, MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, James, go ahead.
I think I got an answer for the condition there, because I'm a parent of a millennial there. And remember back when the phones first came out, it was expensive for the phone calls, but you had texting. And so a lot of them just used text all the time. It was too expensive to actually use the call, but you had the texting capability.
I remember I had my first cell phone in 1989. I had a...
Jeez, that's pretty early.
I had a Nokia. It was a gray Nokia car phone, which they bolted onto the transmission hump in the car. And I had it done at Circuit City on Virginia Beach Boulevard in Virginia Beach.
Why? Who are you talking to?
I don't know. It was like, you get a car phone. It was a Nokia. It was like 1980, late 88 or 89. And I remember my phone bills were like $900 a month.
And hundreds
It was
and hundreds.
because they charged you by the minute back then. It sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that's, they were growing up right at that age when you had a phone, but it was constant. You had to watch your minutes,
Yep.
but you had texting there. So they were all up on that texting right from the early ages there.
James, thanks for the call.
So
Let's
funny.
grab D in Clearwater. Hey, D, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hi, how are you?
We're well. All right. So what about millennials, Generation Z, and talking on the phone versus texting?
I was calling because I believe it was Fester who said, you have to talk on the phone. How for work? How are you going to work?
Yeah, that was festive.
Yeah, that was Froggy, by the way. Froggy, man.
Oh, I'm sorry, Fester.
Very
Froggy
highly
said it.
offended.
My son is 26, and he does not ever have to talk on the phone, and he refuses. And he works a full-time job at home.
Okay.
That's okay.
And
I mean, he's going to be a shut-in.
yeah, exactly. How old did you say?
He's 26.
You ever seen
and
the
he's
movie
very
1 Hour
social.
Photo?
He just does not want anything to do with the phone, and he doesn't have to do it for work, and he has a great job.
Wow. All right. Hey, D, thanks for the call. Ron is in Newport Richie. Hey, Ron, MJ Morning Show, you're up.
Hey, I have a niece. She's 15 now. Her and her mom and dad stayed with me for a couple of years during the COVID because they lost their jobs.
Yep.
But she cannot talk on the phone. She texts all her friends back and forth. Then plus being home, she can't function with doing school. So she lost like 2 years worth of school, and now she's going through this issue. She kind of believes she's really a male trapped in a female's body. She's all messed up.
All right, the phone has nothing to do with the other part.
Yeah, that's...
I know, but
Well, it could be the radiation from the phone.
I mean, maybe.
No, I'm kidding. I'm joking. That's a whole. No, yeah,
don't even do that.
I'm joking. I'm kidding around.
Possible.
All right. Yeah, I don't think the gender thing. I don't think it has to do with the phone issue, but again, it just goes back to a lot of the younger folks, whether millennial or Generation Z. They don't want to talk on the phone. Hey, Ron, thanks for the call. A couple more, and I got to move on here. Lisa is next on the MJ Morning Show. Hey, Lisa.
Hey.
Hi.
Hi. Go ahead.
Okay. So my mom and I, we text, and I screenshot everything she texts me. And I do that because she's a toxic person. And
Wait a second. Hold on a minute. You screenshot everything because your mother is a toxic person?
yeah, no, everything she sends me is horrid. And I screenshot it and I put it in a folder on my phone because later on.
You're building a file.
Yeah, because later on she'll say, "Well, I never say that. I never said that." And
Give us an example of something that your mother texts you that is, in your words, horrid.
I put up a boundary, because there needed to be a boundary, and she says, "Well, you can either choose to have this boundary or your inheritance." That's how bad she is.
Oh, my God. All right, first of all, we got to determine whether it's worth it. How much money do you think you stand to inherit, with the estate?
Oh, probably nothing.
Well, then it's not worth it.
Yeah, Mom.
Now, can you give me an example? Give me an example of something that she has texted you that's horrid.
Well, I thought that was pretty horrid, but let me think.
Does she send you anything graphic? Is it just mean? Is it just,
Yeah, no.
snarky?
It's mean. No, it's not snarky. It's way above that. It's mean. And
Has she always been like this?
well, that's the question because as a child you think everything's normal. So as I became an adult, I realized that, oh my goodness, she is like completely bonkers and so mean. And the reason why we save it, and I say we because she attacks my children now. And
She attacks?
Text
Wait,
them.
she texts your children?
Yeah.
Is she sending your your children horrid messages as well?
Yes. So we do. I know, Roxanne, you said that, it's an A and B conversation, but we do send each other texts, but I only send them if my children send them because I don't want them involved, in the drama. So if they send me something, look what Grammy sent.
That's crazy. Hey, Lisa, thanks for the call.
You guys should look into therapy.
Yeah, maybe so.
Granny says you're stupid, Mom.
Yeah, let me get one more call in. Shauna, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi, Shauna, Clearwater. Hello.
Hey, how are you? So, I have a daughter that's your daughter's age, and their birthdays are like days apart. So my daughter's birthday is the 14th of August, and yours is like the 18th or 16th.
Chloe's the 20th of August.
So they're very close.
Yep.
So my daughter growing up, she got a cell phone a little earlier than our older daughter did. By the time the second one came along, text. Well, here's the thing with this is in high school, her sophomore year, all of her core friends dropped her. So these are kids that she went to grade school with. And my daughter couldn't talk to people. She couldn't physically make new friends by speaking. And we actually had to take her to therapy to learn how to, communicate by voice. It was really, the texting is so bad, I think. And for me, I'm a talker, but I'm a texter too. But when I'm around my kids and if I had to talk to somebody, I try to talk instead of type. Or if I want to talk to my kids.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
It's enjoyable.
I've been mentioning this for years, that people need to learn how to communicate verbally. And with all the texting, people are forgetting how to do it. Hey, Shauna.
It was in an 8-week program to learn how to, communicate.
Wow.
It was the craziest thing. So,
it's like relearning to walk after a head injury or something. Hey,
Right,
Shauna, thanks for the call. I appreciate you listening.
Thank you.